And by the way, I never went to the island. I never had the privilege of going to his island, and I did turn it down. I'm just, I'm just devastated over what's happened. He's been a friend for a long time, a great guy.
Was he at your wedding?
Great guy. He was at my wedding, and
who did he bring to the wedding?
That's a
Epstein.
Why can't they ask a nice, simple business person?
I'll get to that.
It's irrelevant.
Oh yeah, he's guilty, and the FBI knew it. Watch this video. She breaks it down.
This is big. We now have evidence that's been reported by Roger Sollenberger that not only was Trump accused of crimes in the Epstein files, but it was credible enough that the FBI investigated it, and this person received a payout from the Epstein estate, and the DOJ and the FBI have been lying about it from the beginning. But the FBI, they took her statement. She accused Trump of assaulting her in the 80s when she was between 13 and 15 years old. The FBI didn't dismiss it at the time. They documented it in a 302 form, which means they felt it was credible. They included her allegations in a 21-page report about the investigation, and you don't get a settlement like that from the estate if the allegations weren't credible.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't.
I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old.
I was 16.
17.
14 years old. This is me.
This was me.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
This is me when I met Jeffrey Epstein.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
Greetings, my BVPN family. This is Bold Perspectives Network. I'm Mr. Red. I showed you those clips because I wanted to set the tone for what we're going to talk about today. There was a video clip of Trump recently talking about the Epstein files, and it really stood out to me because what he said in that video, it just made me think this guy is really guilty. Now, truth be told, I already believed that he was guilty. He has more connections to this than he's letting on. And as we read this stuff, and as we read what people are saying about him and what's being said about him in the different reports and stuff like that were done a long time ago, it just makes me think that this guy isn't acting like someone who's innocent. He's acting like someone who is guilty. So I'm going to show you the video clip that just gave me cause for pause. Along with, I'm going to show you some other clips that I think further shines a light on the type of person this man really is, and that I do not believe that he is innocent. Again, innocent people don't act the way this man is. We have much to discuss. Let's strap in. Let's get after it.
So Hillary Clinton said in an interview today that she and her husband are getting pulled into the Epstein matter to divert attention from you, and that your administration has something to hide. What's your response to that?
I have nothing to hide. I've been exonerated. I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. They went in hoping that they'd find it and found just the opposite. I've been totally exonerated. In fact, Jeffrey Epstein was fighting that I don't get elected with some author, a sleazebag, by the way. And I've been totally exonerated. No, they're getting pulled in, and that's their problem. I don't know, they're going to have to see what happens. But I watched her in Munich, and she seriously has Trump derangement syndrome.
So I want you to think about what Trump just said. He said that he has been totally exonerated. Now, we've heard him say this before when he said that he was totally exonerated by the Mueller report. He tried to march out his attorney general at the time. Attorney General William Barr came out, did a preemptive press conference based upon the findings of the Mueller report. And what he said about the Mueller report before it even came out was to basically take over the news cycle. And then when the Mueller report came out, the things that William Barr said weren't necessarily all the way true. He worded it so that it gave him plausible deniability, but it gave Trump the sound bites that he needed so that when people heard the report, they just thought it was a witch hunt. This was not necessarily true. There was enough stuff in the Mueller report to indict him. Now, I'm not trying to relitigate that. What I'm trying to tell you is this is a man who says, I'm totally exonerated. That's not something you say if you're innocent. But if you're Trump, it's a tell. Remember what I've said on this channel. Trump is a terrible poker player. He has a bunch of tells, and you can see that this is bothering him because he has to lie like this. Now, this next clip that I'm going to play is actually from Brian Tyler Cohen. He is speaking to Glenn Kirshner. Now, Glenn Kirshner has been a career prosecutor for the United States. So he's worked on a lot of high-profile cases. If you want to know about the legal exposure that a person has, especially on the federal level, Glenn Kirshner is the guy you want to listen to. I want you to hear from Glenn Kirshner about what he expects or what kind of exposure that the Trump acolytes have based upon these Epstein files.
Yeah, you know, if we learned anything going back to the Watergate era, if the crime doesn't get you, the cover-up will, because it really was the cover-up that brought Richard Nixon and his criminal associates down. So now we have the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, and potentially others engaged in what sure looks like a cover-up. We would need to drill down, we would need to investigate, but we know that there are improper redactions being made to the Epstein files in violation of federal law, the Epstein Files Transparency Act. And we know some of the potential wrongdoers, their identity is being hidden from the public in violation of federal law. If that is not accessory after the fact, helping people avoid accountability for their crimes, I don't know what is. To be an accessory after the fact, all it takes is you have to know a crime has been committed in violation of the laws of the United States, and you have to do anything that would actually help the perpetrator avoid detection, apprehension, trial, or punishment.
Listen, we know that these people are hiding evidence, covering up for one Donald J. Trump. We know this. We can see it. If you don't see that this is people acting guilty, I don't know what to tell you. Other countries around the world are going after their criminals. We're sitting here and what are we doing? We got our thumbs up our asses right now because we are not holding the people that done this shit accountable. So you know the names. You know that people want to see accountability. And instead of holding people accountable by starting investigations and making a statement, hey, we're going to start going after these people, they're saying, nope, there's nothing to see here. We put everything out, we're good. Pam Bondi said that other than the stock market is good, who gives a shit? Other than the stock market being good, she said that there was nothing more to see, that there was nothing more that needed to be done. This woman doesn't plan on going after the people. She is literally being the Ghislaine Maxwell 2-1 DJT. That's her job. She's running interference. Donald Trump wanted criminals around him because criminals are going to allow him to do what he does, and that is criminal activity. Criminals going to do criminal things. The last thing that Glenn Kirshner said is that we have to wait for the rule of law to come back due to the midterms. These people have, Pam Bondi just lied under oath. Do you think that these people want to see hands change in the Senate and in the Congress, particularly and especially the Congress? You think that they want to see that shit happen?
Here's something I would love you to watch. Take a few minutes. Just watch this.
Mar-a-Lago has turned into Donald Trump's hideaway for tennis fugitive Monica Seles. Seles mysteriously disappeared after abruptly dropping out of the Wimbledon Championships 10 days ago, only to strangely resurface at Trump's palatial Florida estate. The mega developer reportedly invited the 17-year-old Yugoslav to stay at his home so she could avoid reporters trying to find out why she skipped the tournament. But why would Trump want to get involved in this? Could this eligible bachelor have met his match? The editor of Tennis Magazine could only guess.
Athletes attract all kinds of people. Say, we have a term for them called jock sniffers, which the term, people who feel somewhat bigger by hanging around with athletes or celebrities, and I think it doesn't matter what social status you're from.
Trump has been known to be a big tennis fan. In fact, he found himself in some trouble last year when he was squiring Argentine tennis star Gabriela Sabatini around his casino in Atlantic City. She was 19 years old, underage according to Jersey law. Trump was served with a fine. While Mr. Trump would not comment on...
My issue is it wasn't a deal breaker for y'all. All this information was already out there. When you see this over and over and over again, when does it convince you?
I met him before I was Attorney General. I think I actually met him in college, but I didn't know him well then at all.
Oh, figure, look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, would you look at that? Just look.
It's very sexy to be raped. Didn't you say that?
So, sir, I just want to confirm. It's your testimony that E. Jean Carroll said that she loved being sexually assaulted by you?
Well, based on her interview with Anderson Cooper, well, sort of that's what she said I did to her. She fainted with great emotion. She actually indicated that she loved it, okay? She loved it until commercial break.
Looking those videos, we see that this is a behavioral pattern that this man has shown through the course of his life. And to sit here and act like, well, that's not who he is. This is exactly who he is. I believe Maya Angelou was the one who said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And in this case, we have seen a behavioral pattern from one DJT that shows that this is nothing new. These are the type of things that should have been disqualifying the first time that he ran for president. Even Jeffrey Epstein himself said that this man was a horrible person, despicable person, that this dude was the devil. This is what Jeffrey Epstein, the devil, said about him. He's not someone that we should have ever put in position of power because these are not qualities of a leader, much less a president, someone that is supposed to be the leader of a free world and given the nuclear codes. There's no way. What is it going to take for America to finally fully wake up from Trump derangement syndrome?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but given all that we're seeing right now in such a very short period of time, it seems like a really great time to remind some people that this guy right here, that's 4-star General John Kelly, who served as Donald Trump's chief of staff from 2017 to 2019, called this guy right here an idiot. That's literally how he sums him up. He is just an absolute idiot. And this is the same General John Kelly that let us know that this guy right here called U.S. military veterans suckers and losers. And this guy right here, that's General Jim Mattis, aka Mad Dog Mattis, who served as Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense from 2017 to 2019, has since said that Donald Trump has the understanding of a 5th or 6th grader, that he is a threat to national security, and that he is most definitely a textbook fascist. Now, do with that information what you will, but I take these guys right here a hell of a lot more seriously than I take this guy right here.
Whether you agreed with the generals that served with or under Trump, these men are career service members. These people are career military members. I mean, when I say career, I'm talking about 30-year careers. They've seen it all. They have a bunch of people that respect what they say and how they think because they have seen it all. These are serious people telling you exactly who that man is. These are real leaders, not fake leaders faking bone spurs so they didn't have to serve. I'm talking about people that put their families and their lives on the line in service of this country. Saying that DJT thinks at a 5th or 6th grade level, the age of an 11 or 12-year-old kid, that's who you all elected. That's who some of you all thought was going to be a good leader because he's saying the right things. You put a narcissist in office and now some of you are surprised about the shit that he's doing. This is what black people tried to warn about. This is what people on the left tried to warn about. This ain't a got you. This is the fate of our country. And I don't care who gets in office after this shit. It's going to be almost impossible for them to do in 1, 2, even 3 terms. Because the damage that has been done with our allies, the damage that has been done with our credibility around the world, they're going to say, hey, you had some pretty dumbass people vote this dude in. What's to say they're not going to do that shit again? And there is nothing unless it's fixed, unless we make sure that a person like Donald Trump can never hold office again. And I don't know if that's possible.
I don't forgive a single person who voted for Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck if you regret it. I don't give a fuck if you change your mind. I don't give a fuck if you learn new information, the same fucking information that we all had. I don't give a fuck if you didn't realize he was a pedophile. I don't give a fuck if you didn't realize he was racist. I don't give a fuck if you voted for economic policies. I don't give a fuck if you voted for him because your family did. You are not a smart person. You're not a good person. You lack empathy, and I don't want anything to do with you.
Stay vigilant. Stay engaged. Stay revolutionary.